Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I am with Barnaby here in the dining room. Uh, he's keeping me company. We have a computer set up here down here, and this is where I often work when I need to use the laser. And we've been laser cutting a few things for some orders, and I've just been here a good chunk of the day. I was at the cottage earlier and grabbed some things for the live and did some packing and shipping. And it's been a truly manic Monday. I've been nonstop from the moment I woke up. Let me try and move this a little bit so he keeps kissing the stand and it keeps doing this. So he's going to sit down for a little bit. So sorry, let me catch my breath and catch my brain a little bit. It has been a very busy day. From the moment we woke up, we've been doing things. I've been preparing things to put in the online store. We have some of Andrew's artwork that has not gotten into the online store yet. So our flash sale for Easter, if you didn't know about that, it's going on right now. It ends tonight. So that will end at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. That's 25% off everything in the online store right now. Discount code is Easter 2025 altogether, Easter 2025, and that'll save you 25% off in the online store. So we did that. We started that. I hope everyone had a great weekend. It's been a busy weekend for us. I was at the store on Saturday and really had some nice people come in and got to chat with some new people, which was amazing. We love getting new people into the store. And then Sunday we were closed for Easter. We don't necessarily celebrate. I love Easter. I love the idea of the eggs and the bunny and the pastel color. I love the pastel colors. But my family really didn't get together this Easter, so Andrew and I worked at the cottage. We were at Star Cottage Studio all day long. Andrew was there most of the night into the day, and then we kind of switched shifts. I came in for a little bit. We were there a little bit with each other, and I helped him move some big furniture around and get some things organized. And then he kind of went home to relax a little bit and rest. And I stayed at the cottage all day throughout the daytime hours until probably about 8 o'clock or so at night. And I was mowing and weed eating, and I laid mulch on all of the flower beds all around the cottage. And I have pictures I'm going to show, probably put those up in the Patreon a little bit later, and then post them a little bit far and wide after that. But it was a busy day, but it was really nice to be out in nature a little bit and get away from our daily kind of routine. You know, a lot of the days here are very similar. We do a live every weekday. I do packing and shipping every weekday. We generally go to the grocery store every weekday. So just those things kind of makes our days very similar to one another. So it was nice to do something a little different. And I feel guilty for taking the time to do it, but it was all stuff that needed to be done. It's bad enough when you feel guilty doing things different that are fun for you, but it's a little different when you feel guilty for doing the work you need to do, but it's different work than you normally do, right? Anyway, let's see who's here with me. Kimberly is here. Susie is here. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Norma is here. Hello, Norma. Thank you all for tuning in. I am not broadcasting on Instagram right now. Our neighbor Susie is here. Hello, Susie. Because I'm down here in the dining room right now. And the reason I'm here, I was at the cottage. Andrew Andrew was up all night long again. So he laid down. He had a meeting earlier today. He had another meeting later today, which is going on right now. And he mentioned to me that he was going to go rest. And I said, okay, that's good. Rest before your next meeting. And I was at the cottage just before this, and I was like, was I supposed to like wake him up? Because sometimes he puts the phone in the other room to charge. We don't have a phone charger. It's a whole thing. Many of you know we're using the guest room right now instead of our bedroom. And some of the things haven't moved over there. He usually leaves his phone down here in the living room when he sleeps, so that he's away from it. It's actually supposed to be a really good thing to do. I should do it more. But and I was like, did he leave his phone? And was I supposed to like make sure he was up for his meeting? So I came flying home before the live here. I was going to stay up there and do the live from up there, but then I came running home and I was like, and I peeked in, and he, of course, he was awake. He was in the meeting. He was fine. But yeah, it kind of hit me, and I was already, I knew I would be even late to get him for his meeting, but at least if I was supposed to, I could at least get him up for, part of the meeting. So I just came rushing home. And like I said, I was going to do this live from the cottage. But here I am in the dining room doing it here while he's in the office doing his meeting. So we'll sit and chat here for a little bit. And I technically could do the whole live from here probably, but we'll just sit and chat and catch up on things and talk for a little bit like we normally do. And we'll see how long his meeting goes. I think it's supposed to be an hour, so we normally chat for an hour, and I'm already partly into that time anyway. So I think we'll be hopefully okay, and we'll go up to the office then and finish the live out there. Now, what just happened to there it is. I was going to say, what happened to my computer? Yeah, I think his meeting started at 7, so I think we're okay. What a day. What a day. Susie asked, will we be able to see the kitties? I put some of them in the bathroom right now. Barnaby's here because he's good when he hangs out generally. Gilbert is around somewhere. The girls are up in the bathroom, other than Tallulah. She was laying somewhere, so I just let her go. But I knew they would possibly get a little bit too wild while I was doing this. So they're up there right now, chilling out. But yeah, it's just easier with that. But you might see Gilbert. Barnaby already popped in. We saw Barnaby a little bit ago when I first started. He was sitting on my lap, but he does not. He's sitting on the floor now. Whenever I talk on the live, it's a different intonation. So you gotta kind of, it's actually a lot. You gotta kind of strain your voice a little bit to talk on the live. It's not like talking. It's like you're talking in a crowded restaurant, kind of. It's a different voice, and it kind of puts them on edge sometimes a little bit. So that's another reason that whenever I'm doing that, because sometimes when I'm talking on the live and they're around, they'll start yelling at me, thinking something's wrong. And I didn't want a chorus of cats yelling while I was doing the live. Hello, Dell. Thanks for joining us. So what did you all do for your weekend? Did you have a good one? I just did a D-stash also before this live. So if you didn't see that in the Andrew Thornton Project D-stash group on Facebook, there are new things out there. So if you'd like to grab any of those or claim any of those, they are available to claim. I will be continuing that tomorrow. I did it at a different time slot. Normally I wait until after the live or late at night to do those. And today I decided to do it. I just did one right before the live. That was another thing that I threw in the mix there. But I wanted to see if we captured more people or different people at the different time slots, since I started it at 5:30, I think. Yeah, 5:30 to about 6:45 we did. And I just wanted to know if that would be easier for people, and see if it would be easier for people to kind of catch the D-stash. It kind of made it very quick, although we got to chat a good bit still, I was pleasantly surprised because I was worried that I was just going to be throwing things out there and then walking away. But I got to chat with people, and it was still a pretty good event, I think. And I hope people enjoyed it. Susan is here. Hello, Susan. Lennis is here. Hello, Lennis. So yeah, that's been my weekend has been a blur right into through today. Complete blur. We're getting ready. Andrew's leaving at the end of the week. That's one of the reasons he's trying to get the cottage kind of designed the way he wants before he leaves. So we're trying to do that in amongst everything else, and trying to get him ready to go by the end of the week. I think he's leaving Friday morning, early Friday morning, I want to say. I should probably check the calendar on that, or check with him on that to be sure. But I think he has on the calendar. Yeah, he arrives Friday. So he's leaving early, probably in the morning, Friday morning, to arrive at Penland, which is in North Carolina, Friday night. And then he has his event Saturday through the next Friday. So he will be gone all that time. And then he has about a week in between. And then he has to go down to Sawtooth. And I was hoping to go down to Sawtooth with him, but I don't know if I'll be able to because he's going over, there's only like a day in between, and then he's going over to Memphis from Winston-Salem. So there would not be enough time to, it would be very difficult to drive back home and then him drive back down. That would be a lot of driving and a lot of wear and tear. So I may not be able to go to Winston-Salem with him this time around. But he will be going, I think, to the fire conference at the Metal Museum for a few days through the end of that next weekend. And then he's home for a little bit. Just a little bit, because then there's Snag at Touchstone, which is still from here. Yeah, then he has that. And then I think he's home for a little bit, for a few weeks. And then he's off again to Maine. And then right back to back Maine to, Maine to North Carolina. And there's only a day in between there. So he's a busy boy. He's going to be a busy boy. But we are getting him ready to go. And that, in amongst everything else, is a lot. Lennis is you in the foyer. No, dining room. He said, oh, yeah, dining room. We attended or tried to attend a March for Science event. Then yesterday we had a nice brunch with omelet, rosemary roasted potatoes, says Susan. Nice. Hello, Marianne. Hello. I saw your pictures today. I don't know if you posted them today or if I just saw them finally today. I think it was today. Or was it yesterday? My days. I have no idea what is going on at this point, really. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Susan's comment came through twice. I was like, oh, roast potatoes and broccoli. Nice. Marion's posted today. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was this morning or yesterday morning. I've been having that a lot lately. Like I said, our days are very similar to one another. And sometimes I do not know what day I saw something or did something. I have this little app that is supposed to try to help me with my anxiety. You select the things that you did in the day. Like it tries to prompt you to just get out of bed, brush your teeth, make your bed. There are more complicated things too, but it gives you that nice, easy start to every day and just allows you to feel like you've done something throughout the day. And some days I'm like, oh yeah, I did it this morning. And then I'll realize that it'll be like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh, I never did my list of things for the day. Even though I did them, I didn't go in and check them off, and I could have sworn I went in and checked them off that day. Nope. Nope. To the point where it makes me feel like it's lying to me, but I'm like, it's not. It's just my brain not remembering what day is what. Donna is here. Hello, Donna. Susan says, oh, we also had cherry ice cream for dessert. Ooh, that might be good for, I'm not a cherry fan. Don't tell anybody, but yeah. So I'm glad, I'm sure you liked it. I'm sure it was delicious. But definitely I'm not, I had a bad experience with some cherries when I was young, and I've never tried them since. Well, I did try them once, and it was not a good time. So, but I probably should try them again just to see. Let's see. Marion says, I had my Easter dinner on Friday and Saturday. Lamb chops, carrots, and baked potatoes. Nice. That sounds fancy. Fancy. We had frozen pizza and ramen. That's what I had last night. Andrew just had the frozen pizza. I don't even think he had any ramen. He wasn't that hungry. But yeah, frozen pizza and ramen was our Easter dinner. But that was okay. Actually, I was very okay with that because I enjoyed it. It was very good. And it hit the spot. So that's what matters most, right? Norma is here and says, I had a lot of long Easter weekend events, including potluck, making sandwiches for the homeless shelter, running the church sound system for Thursday night and Sunday services. Nice. Getting in that sound system technology. Even I wouldn't know how to do that. Since that reminds me, there's still some ice cream left. Be right back. Nice. Susie says, today has been a day. Computer issues, connectivity issues, didn't get anything done. I'm glad that is not the case with me, because I needed the computer today. I've been adding things to the online store, like I said. Andrew's shadow play artwork that debuted at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. Those never have made it to the online store. And we had them on his timeline for a long time, but they never actually made it into the online store. So they will go into the online store tomorrow, but we're holding off until after the flash sale is over to add some new stuff to the online store. And if you missed that in the beginning, the flash sale in the online store, discount code Easter 2025, and you can save 25% off there. That'll help Andrew with his trip. It'll help me feel a little bit less stressed while he's gone. I always get super stressed because I know everything is up to me. There's very little he can do to help while he's away. And he's going to be doing some work study and all that during this trip. So there's even less he's really going to be able to do while he's away. So any little bit in the online store definitely helps. Any bit tonight, if you grab anything, or from the D stash, will help. Just kind of help me feel less stressed out about him leaving and me being on my own to make all the bill payments and all that good stuff. That's just how it is. It's small business times right now. We're very thankful and very grateful for what we do and what we are able to do, and that you power that and help us power all that. But I still stress out. I stress out all the time over everything. Susie says, I left you a post yesterday about Johnstown. Wonderful post. I did see that pop up. It came up while I was driving, and then it came up in driving mode, and I didn't see it at first. But I did see it, and I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. I was thinking about it actually today because something else popped up. Somebody, I was posting a reel, I think, today, and I was on Facebook. So that was a whole thing. Normally when I post reels, they download to my phone. I posted it from my iPad because I was at the store when I did it, and it didn't download. So I had to wait until I got to a computer and sat down, and it's been a few days since I've actually sat down at a computer to actually download the reel from Facebook, because it cross-posted. Because if I download it from Instagram, it puts the watermark on it and all that stuff. So I had to wait to download from here anyway. So I was on Facebook to download that, and somebody else posted something about something wonderful, and John saw, and it triggered that you had said that it was a wonderful post on the text message. So I have to look at that. But thank you for sending it over. I have not seen it yet. Let's see here. Susan says, wow, Norma, you were busy. Yeah, Norma was very busy, right? Donna says, since there's so few of us left in the family, we don't do Easter dinner anymore. I did go to our church's Easter service and Sunday school and really enjoyed being there with my friends. That's nice. That's really nice. Yes, Marianne says, interesting that Pope Francis died this morning. Yes, he did. That was something that I'm not Catholic. I'm not, but I do believe that, I appreciated him for his non-judgment. I will say that. He seemed like a very forward-thinking person, and less judgmental than some have been. So I hope he has found what he always looked for in life. Susie says, made an asparagus, bell pepper, and onion quiche for Easter. It was yummy. Nice. That sounds really good too. Norma says, I do mostly just a lot of pushing the right buttons for the right microphones. The real techies set up the hard stuff. Nice. Hey, that's good though. At least you're getting out there and doing it, right? That's that would make me nervous, I think. If somebody said that you are in charge of the sound of something, I think that would make me nervous. But so good for you for getting out there and doing it. Donna says, one of my dear friends from the Chilton County Arts Council passed away. Went to his funeral this morning. Very sweet man and talented turned wood artist. I'm sorry for your loss. That's hard. It's always hard to lose friends, right? But we, I don't know. It's a hard thing, and but it happens to everybody. It happens to us all. And, we just have to keep the good memories, I believe, in what happens, but it doesn't help all the time right there at the time that things are happening. So I feel you for your loss and send you good vibes, lots of hugs for that. Susie, that quiche sounds yummy, says Susan. Yeah, it does. I don't know what we're going to eat tonight. I honestly don't have a clue. Probably stir fry, maybe. We have rice, we have veggies, we have the stuff to make stir fry, so maybe that. We might have pasta. I kind of want pasta. We were in the D-Stash group, and I was talking to people about what they ate for their Sunday dinner, and a lot of people had lasagna or pasta of some sort, and I was like, ooh, that sounds really good. So I kind of want that. I don't know if we have. I think we do. But last time I had pasta, I broke out with a swollen lip and everything else. So I don't know. I woke up with an anxiety attack this morning. That was not fun. I was literally still dreaming. And I could feel my heart rate pick up, and I could feel myself kind of coming out of the dream. It was really weird because it was a very kind of lucid dream, and I was in it to win it. The dream was pretty good, and I did not want to pull away from it, but I could feel my anxiety pulling me out of the dream and into real life. And that's how I woke up this morning. So that was not great. That's just sometimes how it goes, though. I take a lot of different, I take medication for anxiety, and I also take various herbs and supplements and things like that I research and try out. And yesterday, I think because I was so busy, both morning and evening, I forgot to take some of the supplements that I normally take. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Sometimes you wonder if things are doing anything until you stop them. And I think they do quite a bit, keep me level-headed. Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Hello, everyone. Hope you're enjoying some spring. It is very nice here. It rained today, and once it rained, it cooled down. But it was pretty warm today. We were up in the 70s, and a little bit, I feel like it was a little bit, maybe it wasn't humid. It was just warmer than I'm used to right now. But at first I went out with this shirt. This is a t-shirt, and I had a very thin, light sweater on, and I was sweating because this morning Andrew made from scratch. He made cinnamon rolls, and he needed some vanilla extract and some cream cheese to make the icing. So I ran out when I got up and ran out to the grocery store, and even at that time it was warm. So yeah, it was a warm day. It's nice. It's spring. I like this warm. I like when it's warm during the day and it gets chilly. Kind of chilly at night, like sweater weather at night or hoodie weather at night. That makes me kind of happy. And we do have to do some burning. We have sticks that we've collected and cardboard, and we have a little burn pile that we burn in at the cottage, and we need to do that. Hi, Barn. Hello. You want to say hi again? Hello. Saying hi to all of you out there, if you heard that. He's a sweet, sweet boy. Let's see. Kimberly says we had smoked brisket, and I turned the leftovers into shepherd's pie. Ooh. Marianne says pancakes. Pancakes sound good. Marianne says in his willingness to admit the church's responsibility to indigenous persons, quite liberal for a pope. Yes, he was. Yes. So hopefully whoever follows, I don't think they've picked yet, right? It usually takes a while. But hopefully we get that same forward thinking mentality. But the world scares me in that a little bit right now. So we'll see. We'll see. Norma says it made me very nervous at first with the sound, but I'm used to it now, and everyone knows me, so they would be forgiving if I screwed it up. Nice. Well, that's good. That's good. It is nice to be with a group of people who, they understand. They get it. Let's see here. Marianne's correcting, says a hem brisket means cottage pie. Yeah, because shepherd's is only particular kind of meat, right? Let's see. Donna says, I'm going for something simple because my show starts on Friday. So chicken taco salad without the taco part. So chicken salad. Chicken salad? I'm going to make my own guacamole for it. Nice. Susan says, yes, very sad about Pope Francis. Not perfect individual, but who is, right? Who is? That's for sure. Donna says, it's hot as Hades, plus the humidity here in Alabama. Marianne says, not me, Susan. Marianne also says, hi, Barnaby. Let's see. Oh. Let's see. Susie says, Barnaby, my little man. He is. He's a good man, too. He's a good one. Donna says, oh, sweet Barnaby. Dominion is here. Hello. This is Meow. Marianne says, start of Conclave is about 2 weeks from now. That's what I thought. It takes a while to start it, and then sometimes it can take a while for all that to happen, right? Whoops. I don't know what's happening. It's trying to get me to type something. Whoops. It's trying to get me to type something again. Let's clear that out. I can't see any. The forecasted weather did not materialize here, so happy it didn't. Nice. You want to see everybody? Everybody wants to see you. Look. Want to say hi? Say hi and give kisses? Yeah. He's a good boy. He's been my buddy all day. I was very happy to be able to stay home a little bit with him today. And he was happy to have me stay home with him, because he's been sitting on my lap here in the dining room at the computer pretty much all day. We also went outside a few times today. I got to make time for them, right? I got to take them out. They like to go outside when it's a nice day, and I don't like to deprive them if I can help it. So we found a little bit of time twice today to take Barnaby and Gilbert outside. Only the boys go out. The girls are too young yet, and they're still a little bit wild. So if I take them outside, I worry that they could just run off somewhere. We do have to start training them a little bit, but they do know they have escaped at times, and they are learning to come to the back porch. They watch the boys, and that's the reason we take them out, really, is so that if they do get out the door, you never know. They have pushed out window screens before. We have a catio, which we need to rebuild because it's falling apart. The last windstorm really kind of wrecked it, for sure. So we need to take it down off the side of the house and rebuild it and put it back up. But when it was there, some of them could squeeze out the little gap between the house wall and the catio wall. So they have gotten out at times. And we try to take them out so that they know where their property is. We keep them very close. They're usually, now they get a little bit of a distance from me, but at first we keep them very close, and we show them where they can go, where they can't go, and we try to make sure they know that the back porch is where they run to if things get scary. So the boys know that. They learned that from Paolo and Babette before them, and by watching them and then slowly starting to go out with them a little bit. And so the girls, anytime that any of them have gone out, when something gets scary, that you find them sitting on the back porch. So they kind of learn that way, that it's a safe space, which is good. That's what we want, because you never know when they might get out, because we do have our windows open, especially in the spring and fall. And the screens are pretty secure. I mean, they're a normal screen, but if a cat goes running or jumping or tumbling into one, if they're playing or something, then it can pop out. And so it's always good for them to know what to do. And so we went outside today, and Barnaby was hunting moles, and Gilbert was rolling around on the cement. He likes to roll around on the cement. And Barnaby actually took a walk to the front of the house. They normally don't go to the front of the house. The front of the house, the road is not busy in front of our house necessarily. We live on, our street is literally 1 block long, the street in front of our house. And after that, it doesn't continue. It kind of splits a little bit, and another street starts on both sides. And on the way down, it runs to the little highway that runs through our town. And so that is busy. That's down the hill about 3 houses down or so. But right in front of our house, it's not too busy, but it's busy enough that we don't really like them out front too often. We're considering taking the catio down, and instead of rebuilding it, screening in the front porch. Because the front porch, they could access it. If we screened in the front porch, we could open our living room windows, and they could actually go in and out of the house through those living room windows. And so we're thinking about doing that so they have a bigger area and they can sit out in the front porch. But it's also noisier because cars do come down there more often. So we'll see. But Barnaby ventured out onto the front today because he was chasing moles around the side, the side flower beds, and there must have been one up in the front corner. So he went up there, and then he rolled around on the front porch a little bit, didn't you? And then he ended up coming back in or coming back to the back, because even though there's a front door, if they get scared on the front porch, they run to the back porch. And that's kind of how we taught them, so that they wouldn't run toward the road in any direction. If they get scared in the back, they run to the back porch. They don't run to the front porch. Because if they overrun the front yard by just like, our front yard's like 2 feet. So if they overrun that, they're on the road, and we don't want that. Anyway, that's what we did today. Marion says spicy chicken salad. Barnaby has the cutest chirp. He does. He's a good boy, and he talks good. Don't you, bud? No, he's running away. Too much compliments. Too many compliments. Susie says, I'm hoping for the Cardinal of New York. I don't know much about anybody in that, so I'll take your word for it. If you're hoping for them, I probably should be hoping for them too. Kimberly says, true, Marianne, but shepherd's pie is better known. We raise market lambs, so I do make real shepherd's pie occasionally. Nice. Sue said it forecasted severe weather. Oh, good you didn't get it. The rain that came through here was not severe, I wouldn't say, but it downpoured at one point and then kind of let up, and then that was it. We didn't get much. But I'll tell you how involved in my work I was. I'm sitting by a window and I'm working away at things, and it's pouring down rain, and Andrew comes in and says, William, what are you doing? I said, what? I'm working. And the window has right now there's a jeweler's bench in front of the window, and we don't use it. It's stored here right now because it doesn't fit in the garage anymore. It needs to go back up to the cottage, but it's there, and we do use it for like setting. So like his pasta machine for his polymer clay is on there, and so it's soaking wet. The water was blowing in the window. I didn't even notice it because my head was just down. I was doing computer work, and so that's how into my work I was today. But it did pour at one point pretty hard. Donna says, going to use everything that normally goes with a taco salad except for the carb part, the taco. Oh, nice. That's good then. Seasoning, taco seasoning, all that good stuff. That's good. Marion says, at least you know the difference, Kimberly. I had to know the difference too, because I used to make menus for the Coventry Inn, which was my boss's English pub. And it was you had to definitely know the difference, whether you were writing it's going to be a shepherd's pie this week or a cottage pie this week. And many times I had to ask many different chefs, because there was an array of chefs that went through that place. And a lot of them would say that they were making shepherd's pie, but then you would realize that it was not lamb. And so my boss was obviously a stickler for that, running an English pub. So I had to make sure that I got it right. Susan says, Barnaby is so sweet. Norma says, hi, Barnaby. Everybody's saying hi to Barnaby. Susan says, I don't trust Smokey with the great outdoors. I'm too old and slow to chase either of the boys. Plus the front ends bite and scratch, and the behinds do other things, right? Yeah, we try to train ours from a young age. We're probably being a little more hesitant with the girls than we should be, but they are watching the boys. And like I said, anytime they've gotten out, they do kind of come back to the back porch when they sense a big noise or something happening. So that leads me to believe that they're still learning. But we do want to work on getting them acclimated. And I do understand I don't think it matters what age you are. If a cat's going to run, the cat's going to run. And so that's what we try and get them to do. If they're going to run, we train them to run to the back porch. And we got Paolo and Babette to do that. And then they showed Barnaby and Gilbert. I believe it. I believe they showed it because it was so easy to train Barnaby and Gilbert after that. And then, so that's why we want to get the girls trained too, because running the other way in any direction is not good. We do have a road behind us, and there are dogs in the yards behind us too, and all around us, there are usually some dogs around. The road's out front. The road, really, if they go down down the hill, 3 houses or 2 houses, then they're on a pretty major road, and I would be terrified. So I do keep an eye on them when I'm out there, and you can't do any of the harsh sounding voice if they start running. I've learned that that get back here kind of voice doesn't work, because then they get even more scared of you and they run away from you. So you got to kind of do the sweet, nice, come here kind of voice if they start to get spooked or start going in a direction that they shouldn't be going. Brooke is here. Hello, Brooke. Thank you for joining us. For all of you joining in, I'm in the dining room right now because Andrew has a meeting up in the office, and I was going to do this live from the cottage, but then I had to run home here because I was worried that I was supposed to get Andrew, make sure he was awake for his meeting, because I couldn't remember. I didn't know if he had his cell phone with him, so I came rushing home. And then he's already in his meeting, and he was fine. Everything was fine. But it hit me. I was like, oh, I left it just the wrong possible time, maybe. But then I wasn't thinking he probably, of course, prepared, because he knew he would be up there and I couldn't do the live. So I should have just stayed at the cottage. But anyway, the cottage was a little bit chilly. It actually kind of felt a little bit good because the house has been really warm. And the cottage was a little bit chillier today. And I was like, ooh, I should just stay here. Mary says, my fur kids do not go out. I get it. Most of the time, the cats do not. A lot of people, like when I was growing up, we lived in the middle of fields. We had a lake in our backyard. We had fields to the left, right, in front of our house. The nearest neighbor was a good field's length away. And our cats and dogs, it was never anything to us to let them out. You just let them out, and they went and did their thing, and they came back at the end of the night to eat, or in the morning to eat breakfast, and it was never really a concern. And I was close to my animals. It's weird that I didn't worry more about them, but growing up, that's just the way it was, and you didn't worry about them. And they would go away. You wouldn't see, like our cat David. Growing up, he was all white. He always got himself sunburned, but he was all white, and he would go out all day long. All day long, you wouldn't see him. Sometimes you'd see him because he was bright white, but most of the day you wouldn't see him. But he always came back home, and he lived to be an old man and passed away from old age. So he, yeah. But growing up, that's the way it was. We didn't think twice about opening the door to let the cats out. Barnaby would love that. He's like, just let me out and let me go for the day. I'll come back when I'm ready. But because we live in town with lots of cars around, I don't like that idea. Like our cats had a good ways to go before they were gonna see any major traffic. So they were kind of on their own. Now my mom, she has a cat, and she lives pretty close to a pretty major highway, and she lets her cat out all the time, and he just roams around and does his thing and comes back in, and he's fine, and that's the way it's always been. Actually, David moved there when she did originally, and he did the same thing, but I'm just a little bit too anxious to let them out and just see if they come home, because you never know. People might think that they're not with anybody, or if they lose, they'd have to have collars on, which ours don't right now because they're mostly in the house and under supervision outside. But you never know. You never know people out there. So hello, Mary Jane. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Marion says, it supposedly is raining here just now with snow just to the west. Ooh, no snow. Susan says, my neighbor has a sweet Dobby by the name of Lizzie. She does not have a mean bone in her body, but I still don't trust that the prey instincts wouldn't kick in. That's the other thing too. Um, like as a kid, I didn't know, and we never even thought about it, but I didn't know that you'd have to watch out for like vultures and things. I never even thought about that. Um, Having cats and dogs and things like that, and worrying about vultures and birds of prey. We had a lot of them by the lake, but our cats were always okay. But now I worry about that, and I worry about other animals around. We do have people with dogs, and they have fenced yards, or they chain them up, tie them up while they're outside. Um, but sometimes those chains slip, or the collars slip, or they jump a fence. I would not. I couldn't. I couldn't. Um, we're too close to our fur babies for that, and um, so they have a good life, but they get to go out when they can. When I can go with them, or Andrew goes with them. Marion says, my pets growing up wandered through. We got a lot of pets that weren't originally ours, but they wandered to our house and they decided to adopt us. And so we adopted them. That's how I actually got a lot of our childhood pets growing up, is they just kind of wandered in and we took care of them. And sometimes they'd wander away after a while, or they'd stay and live their life out with us. Um, but I don't really. David was one of the few animals, David and Trixie, which was our Chihuahua Terrier mix, were some of the few animals that we had growing up that we actually like picked out. Otherwise, our animals kind of just found us, and they stayed with us as long as they wanted to, and we fed them and took care of them. And if they wanted to move on, they moved on. Of course, we tried to see if they had a family anywhere else, but a lot of them often would show up either hurting or looking like they were abused. So some of them we didn't try too hard to find their homes, because we wondered if they were dropped off somewhere. Our road, because we were kind of remote, our road had some people that drove down it, but it would have been really easy to drop off animals there, because there were a lot of fields and empty space, and nobody would generally see you doing it. So that did happen a number of times, and or at least we feel that happened a number of times, because some of the animals that came to us, they looked like they weren't very well taken care of. So we adopted them as they wandered on through. Let's see here. Ba, ba, ba. Marion says, if the cat runs dogs, we'll see prey for sure, Susan. Oh, if the cat runs dogs, we'll see prey. My dog Merlin wanted to go for a cat despite having his own cat. Yes, that's the thing. Susan says, I'm in an urban area. My street gets a fair amount of traffic. Yeah, our street, because it's a one block street, and it kind of like at the top you have to turn left or right. It doesn't get as much traffic because it's just awkward when you could take another street that goes straight up and down the hill here that we're on. So we don't get as much, but like I said, about 2-3 houses down, it is very trafficy. Lizzie is a Doberman. Melinda, hello Melinda, says the hawks and eagles will get small animals in my yard. A hawk got my aunt's cat and dropped it about 100 feet from her house. Yeah, that's what I always worry about. Like our cats are pretty big now, but Barnaby, he's a thin little guy. He's tall, he's lanky, but he's thin. And Gertie, like if the girls went out, Gertie, she's tiny. So I don't know why we never thought about that growing up, because we lived by a lake and there were lots of things, and you'd see birds diving for like voles or moles in the ground and stuff like that. But at least we never had anything picked up. No cat ever picked up or anything. Lewis says, me and the crows ran an osprey off today. It was after baby geese. Oh boy. Norma says there are lots of coyotes here. Yeah, my aunt, where she lives, just where we used to live, um, has a number of coyote around, and that is not good. That is not good. They'll chase dogs and other dogs, and they even surrounded her at one point. Kind of, she had her dogs out, and probably it's a good thing that her dogs are with her. But she was standing, and she saw one of the coyote, and she was keeping an eye on them. And then out of the corner of her eye, she saw another one, and that's how they hunt. They hunt in the pack. So one will distract while the other ones will start to creep around. And so she right away, she called her dogs in, which kind of startled them a little bit, and then they went into the house. So that is a thing. Now coyotes also, from what she learned, they are pretty intelligent, and they will live in an area for a while. They'll have a den. They'll live in that den for a while, and then they will move on and move to another location. And it might be close, but it might also be further away, because I guess they know that they need to let their dens air out, or else they'll end up with sickness, or bacteria, whatever it is, viruses, whatever it is. They know that the dens have to rest, so they will usually move on to another location after a while, which is smart, right? Soon as we have hawks, but I think our boys, 12 to 14 pounds each, would be too big for them. Probably, right? Probably. Linda says, Susan, I raised Dobies for about 15 years. My favorite dog. Nice. Marion says, we have a lot of coyotes too. Susan says, Lizzie is just the biggest baby, Melinda. She just wants to play, right? They're sweet. They are sweet dogs. Marion says, the typical hawk around here can pick up a snowshoe hare. They're pretty big, right? Snowshoe hares, I believe. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what a hawk could pick up, but I don't want to risk it. So whenever I'm out with the cats, I'm always keeping them close, and then I'm always keeping an eye up in the sky every once in a while just to see what's flying around, especially summertime. Susan says there are coyotes here too in Heman Park. Wow. Melinda says all my doggies were sweet babies too. Susan says corvids are cool birds. They are. Donna says my dog tried to chase a rabbit last year with me in tow, and I had to have stitches because the retractable leash sliced my hand up. Yikes! That's no good. We have rabbits around here and around the house. There's one, I think, that right outside this window, actually. They nest kind of in there. So I get concerned because Barnaby has chased a rabbit out of there at one point and kind of followed it pretty far out to the end of the driveway, to the end of our parking lot, and started to go across the little back alley, which barely gets anybody, but still, that's a road to me, so he's not allowed to go there. It started making me nervous. Donna says we have coyotes, owls, and a resident eagle, so I leash walk my dog. That's good. I think most dogs probably should be leash walked if you are in any area where there's other people. Like our house growing up, there better not been anyone else around, because there were empty fields all around our house, and if you were that close, you were trespassing at that point. But like in a city or in an urban environment, I think it just makes everybody feel safer. So I know Andrew gets nervous about that because he gets nervous around dogs. He was attacked by one when he was very little, and still to this day, a dog that's loud and a little bit rowdy can make him nervous, even on a leash. So I think it does help. Angela moved over to YouTube a little bit. Hello. Thank you for joining us over there. Lena says, coyotes live in New York City. I bet they do. I never saw one, but I believe it. They've adapted to big city living. Yes, they're smart. They are very smart. Sue says, I almost ran over a coyote once. Park near where I grew up had a pack of them. Wow. Donna says, plus I live in the country and I don't have a fenced in yard. Our rural roads are awful. The hairs are bigger than my cat's, even Loki. That's what I thought, because I thought those were big. So that's why I always worry, because people say that your cat's too big, but then I'm like, I don't want them to try. I don't want even them to look at my cat from up there and think maybe I could get that. So I always try and stay around with them. Susie says, we have coyotes here. They are so smart and sneaky. We lost a lot of our feral neighborhood kitties. Yeah, that's sad. Susan said, we used to have bunnies in our backyard. We parked in the back once, and I had to encourage bunnies to move off our parking pad. It took quite a bit of effort to get them to move. Excuse me. Not here. There's no effort here. They move pretty quickly away from us. Which I kind of want to get more pictures of them and stuff, but I never get a chance. They're always far enough away that even when you zoom in, the picture's a little bit blurry. But that's probably for the best. I always tell them that they're welcome in our yard and they're safe in our yard as much as we can make. They're safe from us at least. But they don't listen, and it's probably for the best that they don't. Susie says, I don't ever let Smudgekin out by himself. Yeah. Vicky says, I live near a state park, so we get coyotes, foxes, eagles, hawks, and even an occasional cougar. Wow. You hear that, Barnaby? We got the cougars over there. What? Huh? You gonna talk again? Yeah? You gonna say hi? He's purring. You're purring so good. You had a good day outside, didn't you? He's been very loving since we came in. We got to go out twice today. He normally only gets to go out once a day. So he's been very loving to me today because he got to go twice, huh? We went out twice together. I got to go out too. I don't normally get to go out so much, so I was thankful that he let me go out with him, right? Coy dogs are a cross between coyotes and dogs. Yikes. Don't need that around. Donna says we have packs of coyotes here too, and they've been a problem for years. Marion says, haven't seen an eagle or a fox in the city yet. We do get an occasional moose. We don't get meese around here. We do not get any moose around here. I saw two crossing Gulf Boulevard just the other day. Can't figure it out because there aren't a lot of pets left due to the flood. Scavenging for stuff. Barnaby is so adorable, says Vicky. He is. He knows it too. He uses it. Andrew says he's a player. He uses it. Plays it to his advantage. Huh. Oh. He's purring so good if you can hear him. You hear him purring? He's purring so good. Sue says, I've seen bunnies, a garter snake, the hawks, crows, cardinals, groundhogs, and possums here, despite being in the city. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of critters for being in the city. Huh, Bart? Yeah, there's a lot of critters. You gonna give me kisses on my nose? He's a good boy. Get me all cleaned up. Yeah. Well, I think Andrew's out of his meeting. So I think it's time for me to head up to the office. And Barnaby, I don't want to go. I don't want to leave you. But I think it's time. And we'll get this show started. Angela says alligators here. Donna says, listen to that sweet cat. He is a sweetie. He is a sweetie. Gators would weird me out, says Susan, right? I think so. When we were in Florida, of course, we saw gators down there. And when we were walking through one of the parks, they would have you on paths. And of course, you're supposed to be, away from the gators at least. But it's a little bit scary thinking about the fact that they could be around very quickly. They move quick. They are quick. And then people talk about how they get them in their swimming pools and everything else. And I'm like, that's not for me. That's not for me. But then again, we've lived out in the country, and you think about bears and you think about all these other wild things way out in the country. And people are like, I don't know how you deal with that. So that's kind of like me with gators. I don't know how people deal with that, but they do. It becomes a normal thing, I guess, right? Dale says we have alligators, raccoons, possums, snakes, rats, nutria. I don't know what is that. Coyotes, foxes, cougars, bobcats, and a variety of seabirds. It's a lot of things, a lot of wildlife. Oh, and black bears. Yeah, black bears. We got black bears. We got bears. What do we have there are black bears around. Brown bears, black bears. And we have fox around here. I don't know about so much in the city, but I grew up with them. You'd see a fox running across the field every once in a while. Bobcats, you'd hear bobcats. Never saw them though. But you'd hear about them. Possums, of course. Snakes, of course. Rats, I don't know. We had muskrats, but I don't know that we actually had rats. We had mice and muskrats around the lake. Sue says, I like bears, but I don't want to get up and close and personal with them. That's for sure. Nutria, OMG, huge rats. I can't. I've never heard of that. Dale says, I live 2 blocks from the bayou. Oh, you've got a lot of stuff around you then. A lot of stuff. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm going to put up the screen. Let's see here. I think I only have, what do I have here? Well, this, oh, hi, Barnaby. Hello, buddy. You want to give me hugs? Yeah, give me hugs. Look how sweet you're being today. Yes, look how sweet you are. Okay. I have a miscellaneous Monday with William, so I'm going to put up that banner real quick, and I'm going to go head up to the office, and we'll get the lot sale going. All right, everyone. One moment. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Welcome back. I'm back. You're back. We're all back. Susan says, sometimes, William, you and Barnaby will have to do a show together. Barnaby's favorites or something. I know. I should do that, right? Get him to pick his favorites. See what he comes up with. Everyone's saying hi to Barnaby. Super cute, right? He's a cute boy. But isn't Tallulah who appropriates the goodies? Yes, she is. She's been very good lately, though. She's been doing it less. Which is good. But now she's into this thing like Andrew's paintbrushes can't be in water. And she keeps pulling the wild onions or the green onions. I guess they're green onions out of the water that they're in. We keep trying to regrow them. She doesn't like things in the water. I guess she's worried about their safety. So she keeps doing that now. But she is at least doing better about not appropriating so much. Every once in a while, but not too much anymore. I actually don't know where she is now. Usually she's around more, but she hasn't been around much today. Of course, what am I saying? Who knows if she's actually usually around more? I'm usually not here. So I shouldn't say that. She's usually around in the evenings, and it's not evening yet here as far as we're concerned, because the live isn't over. So I'll see her again once the live's over. Anyway, how's everybody doing out there? I feel like I took all the time talking, but we had some good conversation today, right? I think so. I think it went well. You think I would have gotten? I was just getting the computer up and running here a little bit. I need to pick a letter for today. Let's see here. Have I used that? No, we're going to do LT today. Don't know what that actually means. Doesn't stand for anything, but it's a combination we've not used, at least in the recent present or recent past. I feel like it's dark in here. I was in here earlier today and it was still light out, and so I had the window open and the lights on, or the drapes open, and it was so nice and light. And I just stood on the cord here. Let's get these lights on. All right, let me flip the camera and we'll get started with some new goodies for y'all tonight. This is a mix. It really is a miscellaneous mix today. I found some stuff that I like. I've got some beads by the individual bead. I've gotten some gemstones. I've gotten some wood beads. Gotten some glass beads, all different things today. So let's see. Lieutenant or light, right? It's Monday light edition. I don't know. It feels like a heavy edition today. Hello. Howdy. I'm glad you're here. You can help me.
Oh boy.
Here are the things I picked today. I was telling them that you had your meeting and then you rested for a little bit because you were up all night, and I came running back home because I couldn't remember. It hit me. I was like, was I supposed to wake him up or did he have his phone? And then I was like, that's why I came rushing in and opened the door, and you made it into your meeting. I was like, yeah, he woke himself up because he knew I was not going to probably be here, and then I'm here because the meetings were at the same time.
What?
He's like, what?
I was a little bit late today.
Were you? Well, that's.
I woke up in time, and then
the Zoom.
I sat there, and then I was like, what's happening with my life? And then when I went to use the Zoom, it took a while to get set up.
Because I was like, was I supposed to wake him up? And I was like, well, he probably assumed that I was, after I thought about it, I was like, he probably assumed I would go to the cottage and do the live because he would be in here doing the meeting.
If you want to open the window.
Yeah.
because
I do.
with the lights on, it's getting toasty in here. And it's not quite yet air conditioning weather yet.
No. We're not doing the air conditioning yet. So, let's see here.
So how's everybody doing?
Everybody seems to be pretty good. Marianne's going to say good night now. I don't want to be tempted. Well, good night, Marianne. We know you got up super early. Susan says good night. I'm in FOMO mode, though. Yeah, don't miss out. Don't miss out. We got some good stuff.
Who is that?
That was Susan.
With Susan.
Surreal.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out.
Fear of missing out.
I know. FOMO.
What did you pick for tonight?
Random.
You're not kidding.
I know. I told you. So you can sort through it some if there's things you want to mix in, mix out. And my allergies are still hating me right now. Yeah, random stuff tonight. It's going to be fun. If you missed the beginning of this, I started a D-stash just before this. So there is 40 some items in the D-stash group. We hung out for a little bit earlier in the day because I wanted to see if it was easier for people. If you joined in on that, did you like that time slot?
In the daytime?
The daytime, we started around 5:30.
Put one of your mugs in the viewfinder while you're talking.
While I'm talking.
So that there's something on the screen. You not always have a blank screen.
I know. I was going to just get started. Because we've been talking for...
it takes a minute to get started.
So, what was I talking about? I don't remember. The D-stash. The D-stash, everybody. So the D-stash is up. And there are 40 some lots. I will be doing some more tomorrow. So if there's something you're all looking for, feel free to leave it in the comments. I left a post up there asking. So if you find that post, you can leave in the comments something you're looking for, and I'll try and see if I can find it for y'all, if we've got it. And yeah.
Did you thank people for coming to the what you call it?
I didn't even talk about that. That was Friday. That was a whole 18,000 days ago. So on Friday we had the Creative Make-Along, and we had a good time on the Creative Make-Along. If you missed that, I'm sorry for you. It was so nice. Hopefully you can join us the next time. But every time we do them, they get a little bigger and bigger and more people, and that's nice. And some people float in and float out and they can't stay the whole time, or they come in a little later, and that's okay.
Some people chatty, some people not.
Yep, some people just like to listen. Some people, they chat a lot and talk a lot, and that's okay because we need the conversation to keep going.
That's why we're there.
That's why we're there, to hang out and chat.
If it's just sit in silence, you can do that in the privacy of your home.
That's right. So
we were a more studious group this time.
Yeah, I think more people got more things done this time and less talking.
Really, getting into it.
Yeah. Some people were like, I was really inspired during it, though.
Oh, good.
So that's good. A lot of people made a number of different things during it.
I didn't bully people to talk as much this time because I was working on a seed bead project and I was counting in my head.
Yeah. So Kimberly says, checking in on Facebook events was a nice break from my day job. So I did enjoy it. Oh, good. Susan says the make-along was fun. Focus, says Susan.
Yeah, love the focus.
It was focused. And that was good. That was good. So we had a good time. Thank you all. If you joined in, we appreciate it. If you weren't able to join in yet, we have one every month. this year. That's the goal anyway. That's how they're set up. It's the next to last Friday of every month. Now, don't put that in your calendars like every 4 weeks, because that doesn't work out. Some months have a few extra weeks in there. So it's the next to last Friday. That's how I have to say it, because you can't do every fourth week or whatever. But the next one is on the 23rd, May 23rd, from 7:30 till 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
I don't think I'm going to be here for that.
No?
Mm-mm.
You got new things happening?
Oh, maybe
when I first...
the one time I'm there.
Yep. I arranged these...
the night before Crafting the Future. So if you're in Pittsburgh on the 24th, I'm going to be set up selling some of my enamel stuff.
It's in the evening, right? Are you set up? The way the flyer says like 6 to 8 p.m. or something like that. Said vendor booth 6 to 8 p.m. I thought. I could be wrong, but that's the way the flyer looked.
I'm not going to make a real elaborate
setup.
No.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a sheet.
Sheet on a table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I set up all of the creative make-alongs to find dates that you were here, because I know you like to hang out with everybody.
I think there's 1 month in July I'm not going to be there.
Oh yeah, you added something in July.
July is going to be jam-packed.
The Erica Bella workshop.
Yeah,
happened.
And I'll be there for 2 weeks in Maine.
Yep.
Yeah, the vending is 6 to 8.
That's what I thought.
But there's demos all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go in a little bit early so I can go and see all the fun. And then...
yeah, why not? Why not, right?
And then what else?
Lena says, yeah, I promised Janine she didn't have to talk if she didn't want to. Okay. That was nice she came. I was wondering, because I felt bad if she felt like she couldn't chime in, because she wasn't as talkative. So, but that's good to know then. That makes me feel better.
I feel like I've met her.
I do too.
But it was a long time ago, and her hair was long and maybe purple.
Long and maybe purple.
But I could also be making that up. So
well,
we'll have to ask.
Memory is fallible, right?
Especially mine now.
Especially yours. I wouldn't say especially yours. I'd say especially mine. But
my memory is going. It's alright.
Bringing him some peace
in my life.
In your life.
For once. You brought a bunch of stuff. What do you want to start with?
There's like 40 lots, maybe 45.
What do you want to start
I usually throw in a few extra just in case something doesn't work out. Just start. Start with something. Start with something.
Do you have the paper and stuff up there?
Yeah, here's the papers.
What's our number tonight?
It's written on there. LT.
LT is tonight?
Yep.
Seems like we did one of those LTs.
I just wrote it on the other side. I checked it. It didn't come up LT. Oh. All right. Take this away. Take the bull away. Finger dance for a little while. They were all talking to Barnaby down there. He was talking to everybody.
Oh, that's cute.
Purring at everybody.
He wanted to come in real bad.
Yeah.
And he was doing the quiet meow in front of the door. And I was like, sorry, bro.
He's been doing the mute meow lately to me today, all day. Just looking at me and opening his mouth like he's meowing, but no sound is coming out. It's pretty dang cute. Gesundheit.
Thanks.
Did you have a good meeting?
Which one? I had several meetings today. I was like, how did I become like I am like getting to I'm like of the I don't know how come I'm like a Luddite. Is that the word you use for the people who are not technologically savvy?
Oh, Luddite. I think
Well,
that's
I'm
right.
becoming that.
You're becoming that.
I'm like, Grandpa don't know how to use a Google Docs. And they just laugh. I said, I'm not joking. I pushed the link over, and then the whole entire thing shows up. So.
Oh boy.
Anyways.
That's funny. Yes, the Luddites, says Lennis.
Well, that's me.
That's you nowadays.
Grandpa Thornton Jones.
Grandpa Thornton Jones. All right, everybody. LT1, if you don't know how to claim, this is how you do it. To purchase from this video, take down the lot number. The lot number will be an LT number tonight. Put that in the subject line of an email. Address that email to info@allegorygallery.com and hit send. It is first come, first serve. The first lot tonight is this beautiful vintage check strand of multicolor vintage check faceted rounds. And it's a long strand. There's one extra large one at the end. Extra large. I don't know about extra large, but larger.
I think that's fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and it's a lot of different colors for you to play with. And if you just need a little bit of something here and there, a lot of nice black on this one though, which is nice if you like the black glass.
Not very expensive either.
No, only $7
for a double-ish strand.
This is it's like a 16-inch strand. That's a 16-inch strand.
Very affordable.
Very affordable. Vintage check glass.
Because usually you get like a quarter of that strand for
that price.
Much.
Yep.
Or maybe, well, yeah. About $5, $6 for
a quarter to a half would usually cost that.
So there you go.
So there you go. LT1.
I always go back to the first one because the first one nobody ever picked.
Never gets any love, that first one.
Homely heart. No matter what we do,
I know.
Like, I'll try to put like this like amazing thing in the beginning. Nobody
Very rarely does it ever
I'll
get
pick
picked.
something like $1 and put it in there, and it still don't get picked. Bless its little heart.
I know.
That's like when they put my stuff up to auction at Peters Valley once. They put me first, and it was like crickets. And then once people get going, then they get
into the fever of it. Yeah.
And then they're paying like $80 for a piece of paper that somebody printed out. I said, I work hard on that brooch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like $30.
Oh, I got a tick again, y'all, from doing all the yard work yesterday.
I think they just like you.
They do like me.
Hey, did you post in the Patreon group?
Not yet, because I have to be able to sign into the Patreon.
Okay.
It signs me out all the time, so I got to sign in. But I told them earlier that I'd be posting there.
Okay. Share your progress.
I know we did got a lot of work done. As soon as the Smoky Cat is joining in, I'm allergic to those nasty boogers, says Kimberly. Ticks. Susan says no. Yeah, I got a tick on me, and it was gorging out on me by the time I got home. This is a beautiful strand of big, chunky labradorite. And this vintage green.
Flash on. I see some blue.
There's some blue. It's mostly green stones, though. And it's the nice big vintage strand. This is a 14-inch strand. And it's got that nice golden orange flash. And there's some blue flash in there as well, like Andrew said. One strand available was $26. Andrew brought it way down for y'all. $20. $20.
I'm not ticks. I'm getting distracted.
I know. Yeah, it was gorging on me, and I had to pick it out. And I put it in a little bag, and I've got to send it away. I didn't get to do that today.
You took an antibiotic.
Yeah. But I will be sending it away. We have a free place here in Pennsylvania that tests them for you, and if they have what causes Lyme disease, then you can get that and send it to your doctor and get on the antibiotics for it. We're lucky that way. They have a testing for that. And it's free. They don't charge you for that test. It's to help them also track where the ticks are and what population of deer may be spreading Lyme disease and stuff like that. So far, all the ticks have never, they've never had it. I've been very lucky.
They just like you, because I was out in the yard too.
Yeah, you were picking up sticks before that.
And I didn't get it unless it went into like my brain.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it didn't dive into your brain. Deep diver tick, yeah.
It's going to be like The Last of Us. Except instead of mushrooms, it's ticks take over.
Ticks take over. Oh, well. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Nightmare.
New nightmare, yeah. So this is vintage check glass. These are larger. I didn't even measure the other ones, did I? These are about 9.5 millimeter faceted rounds with that AB finish, AB metallic, flashy. And this is a nice big strand, 10-inch strand of vintage check glass, $9 only, down from $12. Kimberly says, I swear it's a blood type thing. They like certain blood types more than others. I wonder, because I know when we were growing up, my dad, like I said, we grew up by the lake, and my dad, we'd all go out at night and be out by the lake and doing yard work or, burning a brush fire or whatever. And the only person that would get eaten up by mosquitoes was my dad. And they never seemed to like any of the rest of us, thankfully.
I wonder, is it true that the bugs like it when you eat the bananas?
I don't know, but maybe
you eat a lot of bananas.
I do eat a lot of bananas. I've never heard that, but
I could have just made that up. The banana conspiracy.
The banana conspiracy, but
oh, somebody claimed something.
Oh, LT3 has sold. Thank you so much.
Which one was that one?
That previous, just the last check glass.
The purple one.
Purple one. It's a good deal.
Good.
These are little check glass crosses.
Equal arm.
Equal arm crosses.
They're crystal with an AB.
So with AB finish. And they are...
And they're vintage, so...
8 inches. And there are 2 of them available at only $4 each.
Is that our email? Our regular email?
Yeah, why?
It just seems like there's so many messages.
Because I didn't go through it today.
Oh.
Normally I clear it all out. I haven't had a chance today, too.
Did we just get invited to a fashion show?
Where? What are you doing? Reading the email while we're on. Deadline extended for the Kansas City Fashion Show. Designer application update. You gonna apply? I don't think that's gonna fit in your schedule.
When is it? April.
The deadline's in 2 days.
Nah, I'm busy.
September 20th through the 27th.
I think I'm busy.
Apparently, ticks and mosquitoes like people who have more carbon monoxide hereditary.
Carbon monoxide in your blood?
Or XL. I've heard I've heard mosquitoes. I've heard mosquitoes are attracted to your exhalations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I never knew that about ticks.
How do they see it?
They smell it. They
smell your breath hole?
Yeah, they find it by scent, I think.
Ooh.
Carbon dioxide, she said. Yeah. When you breathe out.
Carbon monoxide. Like, I hope you're not breathing out that. Hey, can you find me some pliers? Because I need them. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I didn't measure those crosses. Let me measure them for you. LT4. And so these are approximately 12 millimeters by 12 millimeters.
Did you ask everybody what they're having for dinner?
I asked them what they had yesterday for the holiday. Anybody who celebrated, a lot of them had some good food. What'd y'all have today? Leftovers, right? What'd y'all have today for dinner?
I don't know what we're having.
I don't know.
Hey, I made cinnamon rolls. Did you brag about that?
I did. I said you made cinnamon rolls from scratch, and
Correct.
I went out and got some cream cheese to put on them.
I had some extra cream cheese. So I'm just gonna eat it like pudding.
Kimberly says, so what do you do to decrease the level of that? Lennis says, not just breath, skin too.
Your skin makes
Your skin makes carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. How does that happen, y'all? All right.
I don't know.
Don't want it. Nobody wants that.
I think mine is like mostly coffee.
Yeah,
so they're like,
his blood is all coffee. These are really cute.
Those are very vintage.
Very vintage. Givre, right?
I were flipping my butt off organizing the cottage so that we can get stuff going.
I was telling him you were up all night for multiple nights, moving things around and trying to get things sorted. And then I came in and helped you move some heavy furniture and then worked outside all day. Melinda said I had Crystal burgers and fries.
Crystal?
Yeah. Krystal.
Do you know Crystal?
I've never heard of that.
That's from the South. That's like basically like the equivalent to White Castle.
That's good. I liked White Castle.
They used to sell, I don't know if Crystal does this, but they have they would at White Castle they had things called Crave Case. And it's basically like a suitcase of hamburgers.
I remember those. I think I only had that once because we didn't have any of those around us for a long time. And then I think one either popped up in college. This one just sold. Thank you so much. This is about 5.5 millimeter. These little, they're little cubes. They're kind of rounded cubes drilled on the diagonal. About to make some shrimp and rice for dinner, says Kimberly. And mosquitoes love my olive skin, and I have to use DEET if I'm going to be outside for any length of time, says Donna. Yeah, mosquitoes generally don't bother me, thank goodness. Knock on wood, knock on wood. But ticks seem to love me.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
We'll be out in the same area at the cottage doing the same kind of work. And I mean, you do cut the grass more.
Cut it and weed eat it more. You weed eat a good bit though too sometimes.
But I don't get it.
And
so that's hallelujah.
So if you've ever thought, I love the color of your ruler, wonder if I could get beads that color. We have them for you now.
One day we'll wash the ruler.
I know there's
some scoogies.
I know, I don't even know what that is, but it's
some
there.
Some kind of art supply.
Art supply on there. Well, here are the beads that match the ruler. If you've ever thought that, be like, that's a great color.
That's kind of like a teal blue.
It's a nice little blue color. Kimberly says they are trying to block the bugs from detecting carbon dioxide. What could go wrong?
Oh, no.
Norma says I had a hot ham and cheese sandwich and pretzels.
Ooh, nice.
That does sound
you
nice.
got scissors up there? Or cutters?
You took this cutters yesterday. I have these scissors. You got it?
They started organizing the office last night. We start watching the Virgin River finally.
The next season.
You know what? I should become a lawyer.
This is 17.2 millimeters by 16.7. So about 17 by 17 approximately. And these little flags or pendants, triangles, drops. And this strand is a 12-inch strand approximately. They are $7 each. 3 of them available. LT6. Yeah, we were watching Virgin River, and the court scene.
I think they could research that a little bit better.
Yeah, the court scene was not. We're like, aren't they supposed to cross? And aren't they supposed to do this? And aren't they?
I didn't know. Also, you got to like have like dramatic times telling stories at the end.
Right.
Like your closing arguments is like, I don't know, impassioned, make the Asian lady uncomfortable in the jury.
Well, a lot of shows do that, but the fact that he got on the
Like
stand
that?
as a witness and they didn't cross-examine the actual person that was up for being charged, I'm like,
Yeah, that was a little bit interesting.
yeah. But hey, it's supposed to be easy
Wow.
TV. Look at these. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, I gave an extra good deal.
Yeah, you did. $6.50. Even starting that at $8 is a really good deal. That's like a $12 or $14 strand.
Especially nowadays.
These are vintage check glass again in this ambery yellow color.
Honey.
Honey yellow. Honey. 8 inches. And these are kind of, I don't know what shape you want to call that, but they're nice.
Nugget.
Yeah, I guess it's a nugget. We'll call it a nugget. And these nuggets are approximately almost 11 millimeters. 11 millimeter nuggets. Vintage check glass in the honey amber yellow color. We've got 3 of them available. $6.50 each. We've sold 1 so far, so there are 2 of them now available. Thank you so much.
How much do you charge for my polymer clay pendants online?
They vary depending on size.
What's the regular size usually?
I think they're 12.
Oh, did you tell them I'm teaching in Pittsburgh?
No, I didn't. They're 10 to 12. Mainly 12. Well, unless they're really small. The smallest are 10, then they go to 12, and I think there's even a 14 for some of the biggest. No, just 12. Yeah, I didn't tell them. Andrew's teaching in Pittsburgh, y'all.
3 times this summer. I was like, what am I doing?
4 times? What do you mean 3 times?
3, 5, 10.
4 times. 4 different things he's teaching. Here, let me put this out, and then we'll talk. $10. Yeah, this was normally a $12 pendant. This is a polymer clay by Andrew. LT8. This is the star design. Shatter star, he calls it. And that's just about a 38 millimeter pendant by Andrew. Hand pressed, hand done, hand finished. Polymer clay pendant, $10.
I also got, I have to decide what I'm going to teach before I leave. So I have like 2 days to figure out that online class.
What online class?
Metalworks asked me to submit a class. They invited me to teach for them.
Nice.
Virtually, not in person.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. And I asked them some questions. I was like, what classes fill the best and stuff like that? Because, every place is different.
Yeah.
Is there anything people want to learn from me?
Because this could be virtual. Anybody could attend.
Mm-hmm.
So let Andrew know if you'd like to take one of his virtual classes.
They're more put together than the demos. I think I give a lot in my demos.
You do.
But
they're not like structured.
In the class, I'm not like, what are we going to make today?
Yeah.
And then you just remember something off the top of my head.
So this is cool. This has a yellow gold to it. This would go great with like that bumblebee jasper, the light bumblebee. Nice pendant, LT8. So Andrew in Pittsburgh, 4 different classes. June 28th, if you're in Pittsburgh, drawing and mark making on enamel with Andrew Thornton.
You don't actually have to know how to draw. I should tell people that. Because sometimes that can be intimidating for people if they're not a drawing person. But
I was going to ask y'all if you got the email about this, but it's going out tomorrow. I set it up for tomorrow. That's another thing I did at the store on Saturday is I set up about 3 or 4 different emails in advance. On July 5th, this is all contemporary craft in Pittsburgh. Decals on enamel. Then August 9th, Razzle Dazzle for enameling. Learn the Razzle Dazzle, y'all. And then mold making is being run again. That was the class he did in February because it originally sold out and they asked him to do it again.
We actually oversold.
So
we got an extra person that morning. And they're like, do you mind? I was like, sure, the more the merrier.
Right.
But I hope we don't do that again.
So these are LT9. They're $1 each. These are vintage Chinese ceramic. And these are little dragons that are hand glazed, hand quote unquote painted on here, hand glazed on here. And each one is hand done. So they're all a little bit different, but those are all the little dragons. And it's a dragon scene, usually with flowers. There's some flowers and leaves in there, clouds. And these are about 14 millimeters. And they are $1 each. LT9 vintage Chinese ceramic. 20 of them available.
Yeah, I saw on another site there are
What?
double or a triple dot price.
Yes. Yeah, we charge low for these compared to what you'll find out there, out and about.
And I tried to pick the good designs.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the designs are like, what's that?
Yeah. We've got some good designs. People love these generally.
Is that a foot?
Is that a foot? Every time we put these up,
bird?
usually people grab a good number of these. We're running low. We're starting to run low in stock on these.
I'm sure I've got some secrets.
You've got some secrets somewhere.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. This is a little plant scene. Plants. It's got this little plant sticking out of here.
It looks like a lotus.
I don't know what kind of, got orange on it. It's pretty sweet though. You've got some leaves and some flowers and some like tulips back there.
But the leaves kind of look different, so.
Yeah, it's, you don't, and of course they could have plants that we don't see around here too.
I think maybe it's just abstracted also.
Yeah. So we have those. There are 10 of them available. They're $1.50 each.
Maybe chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. These are 12 millimeters approximately by 28. 12 by 28. 10 of these available. $1.50 each. Super cute. Anybody else? What are you having for dinner tonight? LT10, we've just sold 5 of those, so there are 5 of them still available. Thank you so much. What else is everybody eating? Give me some ideas. I think we have pasta possibly, or stir fry are our options tonight.
Yeah.
We got rice and veggies. We got, I think we have a box of pasta yet in this pasta sauce. We've got potatoes, lots of potatoes and sweet potatoes.
That we're on the clock with.
That
we're on the clock with.
On the clock with.
Because the pasta's not going to go bad. The potatoes.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's going to get raw, mushy time.
Mushy. Just sold another 2 LT10s. Thank you. That brings us down to 3 of those left. And we sold 4 of the LT9s. That brings us down to 16 of those left. Thank you. Yeah, we got to get those potatoes because you're going to start growing eyes.
Those are poison. Did you know that?
Yes. Green potatoes and eyes in the potatoes. Not a good time.
I don't know what it actually does.
It would take, I've read about it, it would take a lot to get a human.
I don't know. I think your tongue would get itchy.
Me especially, maybe. Break out, but it's supposed to be like, it would
Maybe
take a lot.
you're people, though. Like, you're a white people heritage, since they're the potato eaters.
Potato eaters.
Did you know that the potato eaters, they're from South America, originally?
Oh, yeah?
That's where the original potato comes from.
Huh.
And then they brought it over.
Yeah, I did know that at one point. Took off in
Europe.
So these are LT11, these little like drum-like beads, hand painted. These are vintage Chinese ceramic. These kind of, I think, would look good with African beads.
I feel like I read a book about potatoes.
Did you?
I'm sure. It sounds like it.
These are LT11. It sounds like it. It sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
LT11. These are 18.6 millimeters by about 8.2.
I literally go through like a book a night, so sometimes I don't remember what I've read.
LT11. We've just sold all 20 of these. Thank you so much. Lena says, I had Peruvian for lunch, so a bagel for dinner. What Peruvian?
What does that consist of?
What did you have, Peruvian?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Melinda says, we eat one meal a day, usually around 5 p.m. We do too, generally, usually around midnight.
That's when we have our free time.
Yeah. Melinda has one meal at 5 p.m. Then tonight we snacked on Ritz crackers and pepperoni. What did you have for your normal meal? Did you already say? Did I miss it?
Crystal.
Oh, the Crystal burgers. That's right.
I don't remember what people eat. Maybe.
Norma says, I love Ritz crackers with pepperoni or with cheese or both. Me too. I used to love Ritz and pepperoni and cheese. Now I have Ritz and cheese.
But I'm getting like this.
Getting parched? You can have some of my water if you want.
I don't know. Does Lyme disease travel from that?
Norma says, I've never had Peruvian.
There's a Peruvian place.
Are these? This is Pink Opal?
Pink Opal.
Pink Opal.
It's a real nice one.
It is a real nice one. I was surprised you put it at this. That's why I looked at the price. I was like,
don't worry about it. Just go with it.
What is this? Real nice.
Trying to bribe people to like me.
Real nice. LT12. Peruvian. No, Pink Opal. I'm talking about Peruvian. Pink Opal.
Pink Pony Club Opal.
Pink Pony Club Opal.
Do people still like Chapel Roan?
I don't know, do they?
I like her.
I like her too.
You know, because of the way things are, people don't like some people who are expressive now.
Right. This is, I've placed these where the hole is going up and down. These are Pink Opal, nice big chunks, only $3.50 for each pendant. 3 of them available, LT12. Kimberly said cream cheese and pepperoni on Ritz. I have never done cream cheese and pepperoni.
Of course you have.
No.
Laurie used to make that pepperoni dip. You know what that is? She took the pepperoni and chopped it up and put it in the cream
then I
cheese.
have. Then I have. I like cream cheese and...
I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is so good. And she was like, it's just pepperoni.
It was really good.
Because she was not how you call a
cook. I love when you do cream cheese and hot pepper jelly on the Ritz. Super good. Hot pepper jelly and cream cheese. Lena says, I had roasted chicken, salad, black beans, and yuca. Nice. Does sound good. Sounds yummy, Lena, says Norma. Those are yummy pink opals. Yes, they are. And they have all 3 sold. Thank you so much. Melinda says cream cheese would make a poo sandwich good. Kimberly says, yes, that's amazing.
I won't test that.
You won't test the poo sandwich?
No.
Oh, you gave a good price.
I'd rather eat poo than do some certain things. That means strong aversion to it.
Yes.
That's extreme. That's not.
If Andrew says
pedophilia.
that, that's extreme.
I know.
Melinda says, bah, ha, 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 ha.
I'm not divine. I'm not going to put the dog poop on cracker.
No. These are beautiful chunks of carnelian.
Did somebody just throw up in their mouth?
Beautiful chunks of carnelian. Moving on. Beautiful chunks of carnelian. Simple cut. Big, nice nuggets. There are 12 of these available. They're only $4 each. They were $6, and that was, I think, the discounted price before.
Don't worry about it.
Andrew's buying your love tonight.
Brian.
All right.
So small.
They have to fit in the little bags.
Except it's not, though. They're great, big, ginormous bags.
LT13. We've just sold 2 of these so far. Thank you so much. That brings us down to 11. Oh, we just sold 2 more of those. Brings us down to 9 of them available. 9 of them available. Still, and let me give you a size reading on these. Let's see. This is one of the biggest ones. So the biggest one here is about 22 by 36, and this is probably one of the smallest at 24.5 by 19. Kimberly says, no, my comment was not for Melinda's poo Sammy. It was for hot pepper jelly and cream cheese. Saying that's amazing.
Delicious.
I had a feeling it was for the peanut butter or the pepper jelly and cream cheese, but
you know what? Everybody keeps buying him hot pepper jelly
because they know I love that combo.
And you don't actually eat it that much.
No, it's like a treat.
So our cabinet just has all this random hot pepper jelly.
We have a cabinet full of like pepper jelly.
And it's like,
I could like live on it for years.
The only one that eats this. I was like, y'all heard of like strawberry?
I need to get some Ritz now. We have you made that cream cheese dip.
I'm just gonna eat that tonight.
You're just gonna eat that tonight? Get my hot pepper jelly out. I should have bought some Ritz today. That could have been my snack.
Here we go.
I like peach jalapeno jelly with cream cheese, says Norma.
I'm sure we got that too. We got all this random like.
Well, Andrew also likes to he's talking, but he likes to stop at a farmer's stand and pick up rare jellies.
I eat them though. What's that? I am bewitched by like people who can, because I know how hard it is to do that. So when there's like a random farm stand, if it looks clean.
If it looks clean.
There's some that I'm not.
This is beautiful Amazonite nuggets.
The pickles is like white and scuzzy looking. Yeah.
$7 each. Beautiful vintage Amazonite large faceted nuggets. Lena says, I love pepper jelly and hot zucchini relish. I don't think I've had hot zucchini relish. Kimberly says, I like strawberry jalapeno jelly with cream cheese. Yes.
What's all this jalapeno?
Melinda says, pepper jelly on toast with pimento cheese is heaven. Ooh, I like that. I like the pimento cheese too. I can buy a whole thing of that and eat it one night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get sick. But it's delicious.
I like it. I like it okay. But I'm not like, oh my gosh, let's get the hot pepper jelly.
This is 30 by approximately 40. About 30 by 40. Norma says, I've never had pepper jelly with pimento cheese. Interesting. I don't think I've combined them either. That's going to be a new thing now. I can get some of that. Have I?
You know, because they make them, they call them pepper dow. What they call them, the little sweet peppers that are like sweet. And they're like pickled. And they're little.
And with the pimento cheese?
And they stuff it.
I've never had those.
Yes, you have, because they used to sell at the Ingalls.
When would I go to the Ingalls?
In North Carolina, when we used to go down there, we would get them.
I don't remember eating those at all.
I
Probably
do.
because we were drinking too.
Wow, that's your own fault.
Lettuce says that sounds so good. Love pimento cheese with jalapenos. So we've sold one of these so far. Thank you so much. These are $7 each. Mary Jane says banana peppers.
No, they have like a name.
Yeah, I think
They're
they are.
round and they're.
I think pepper dew is what they are called.
Pepperdew?
Something like that.
You know, I'm a little bit nervous about Friday.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm going to Finland. And,
I was talking to them about that. Me being on my own, getting nervous. I always get the nervousness.
Yeah, no,
Peppadew, says Norma. I do get the nervous. What are you talking about?
Fine.
You'll be fine. Then what are you nervous about if you're not nervous about me?
Because I have to work.
You got to work under someone again?
So I am going to be technically an employee of Finland.
For a weekend?
For a week.
A week?
Yeah.
I thought you only had work study on the weekend.
I don't know. Because then they sent me this email. And
this is said, yellow quartz, right?
Uh-huh.
Lemon quartz.
And they said, oh, by the way, we accidentally didn't include you on this email chain. And so I'm like, I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to show up and then they're just going to tell me what to do.
This is beautiful lemon quartz.
And I hope I don't like puke in the grass.
Right. They're going to work you hard. Some people said they work you hard.
But like, that's relative, right?
Yeah.
So I'm used to like not hard labor, but I'm used to like endurance.
Yes.
Right? Because like I can work for like
go all night long,
13 hours in a row.
Yeah.
But
if it's hard manual labor,
then
you're gonna be thrown up on the lawn.
I know. I was like, don't look, y'all. Avert your eyes.
We've sold one of these so far. They're $8 each. LT15 lemon quartz. This is not the lemon topaz. The price is right for lemon quartz on these. And we've got 10 of them now still available.
What number is that?
15. And they are all different sizes if you want to specify smaller or larger, because the smaller ones are around 23 by 16, and then this is one of the larger ones around 33 by 22. LT15, $8 each. We sold one of the larger chunky ones. Marianne says Papadoos with an E where the A is. Peppadew. I don't know. Also known as picante.
I don't know. They're little and they look like little buttons.
Little buttons that you can stuff.
Uh-huh. We had one that they had tuna in it when we ate meat.
I don't remember that.
They're real sweet. They're real sweet.
I remember. I don't know. I don't remember.
The reason why I know is because you can get them at Ingles and they're already made.
Are these the right price? These turquoise?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
I thought the price was way higher last time. Whoops.
Where do you think it is?
I thought it was like that for all 4 of them for one. Like 16 each.
No.
No? Okay.
This is a good price.
This is okay.
Basically free.
Yeah, I know. I thought they were like $12 to $16 a piece last time.
Oh, wow. They're getting a good deal there.
Yeah, they do.
I'm pretty tired. So.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't have had him help me tonight.
I feel a little bit like I'm hungover about it.
You're acting a little bit like it.
But you know, I didn't drink anything. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. My tongue feels like it's like swole up, made of cotton. Well,
you probably should take a drink.
But I don't want to share drink.
Oh, in case you get the Lyme disease from me. I don't think that's how it works. These are about 18 millimeter, 17.5 to 18 millimeter turquoise rounds, $4 each. We've sold 2 of them so far. I really do think these were like $12 a piece last time we did them because they're really super nice turquoise.
They are nice.
They are super, super duper nice. Beautiful rounds.
How much are the lemon quartz?
$8 a bead. Like robin's egg says Norma. Yes.
Hey, did we do any smoky quartz already?
No, not tonight.
Let me see that lemon quartz again. Oh. How much is that?
Was 9, now 8. We just sold the other 2 of these. Thank you so much. Boy, I've got the allergy stickiness in my throat and nose.
You always have that.
I know, but it's the last 2 or 3 days. It's been really sticky. I need to drink something hot to clear out my nose and throat. Oh, these are nice.
How is that more than the turquoise?
Because you marked the turquoise wrong. That's why. You probably thought it was for all 4 and it was really each. That's what I think.
Whatever.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but
Whatever. That's fine.
it's fine. They all sold already, so can't take back.
No take back.
No take backs. This is smoky quartz, large, beautiful nuggets, tumbled, clear. Look at the quality on these.
The papers keep getting smaller and smaller. Wait, what number is that?
That was 17, or this is 17. These are smoky quartz, and they are approximately, they're generally around the same size, 17.5 by 26. That's the first one here, so you can see size-wise. They're about the same size. Beautiful. They're $7 a bead, LT17. That's some nice quality.
I said, what happened to the breeze? And then I realized that the window closed itself.
Oh yeah, that one does. You gotta put that thing in there.
I was
LT.
like, there was a breeze. I'm not pretending.
All right, so those are the LT17 smoky quartz. They were $8, and I brought them down to 7 each.
Oh, it's
4 of
so
them available.
hot.
Getting too hot in here.
Right.
It's getting hot in here.
Well, there's a limit
There's a limit.
to what you're going to take off.
I know. He's already got shorts and short pants and short shirt on. These are hand-carved carnelian. I think these are the last 2 we have. We had a bunch of these. They're vintage. They were on strands. We took them off the strands, and they're hand-carved. Beautiful shapes. Great for pendants. Vintage carnelian. There are only 2 of them left. LT18, $5 each. And these are approximately 46 millimeters by about 23.5. 46, and both of those have just already sold. Thank you so much. I like those odd shapes like that. Different. Shouldn't say odd, they're different.
If we use odd, it usually means good.
Yeah. For us, we like that. We like that stuff.
Yeah, I get so bored to tears with plain stuff.
Mm-hmm. We like the stuff that's in. That's why we do a lot of vintage stuff, because you don't see these shapes and things a lot of times around anymore. Dale says, I have one of those. It's gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you for grabbing one before. Let me take a drink. It's probably not going to help. But I guess at least I have a drink. Poor Andrew. It's counting.
You know, maybe it's that cranberry juice is getting stuck in your craw.
Well, that's possibly it, but it happens especially more when I drink plain water.
Huh?
Yep.
I can see how that bitter stuff is stuck in your throat.
If I come down in the morning, sometimes I come down and take my anxiety pill before I'm ready to get up, so that I'm not anxious by the time I get up. And sometimes I'll just come down to the sink and drink out of the sink. And if I drink plain water, I usually end up coughing and
Which sink?
the kitchen.
Because the kitchen sink water is different than the
I know.
upstairs. The one in the kitchen sink has a salt filter.
Well, that, whatever it is, it ends up getting clogged up and creating more mucus for me for whatever reason. These are little beautiful cylinders of aquamarine.
No, they're real nice.
These were, it was the high-end strand. And
I think the price is still good.
$3 a bead, yep. We sell a lot of these. I think we had 2 or 3 strands of these, actually. We've broken them down because they were a lot of money per strand. So we sell the beads at $3 each. There are 35 of them available. This is 8 millimeters approximately by 10. And they're these just gorgeous, juicy, aquamarine, lovely things. And I love this shape, slightly rounded on the ends, but beautiful patterns, great color. Sometimes there's a little bit of that moss aqua in there, a little bit of green. But let me show you some more of these too, because I think you're really going to like these if you haven't gotten these from us before. And like I said, they're $3 a bead. Comes out to a really good price for the quality of these, and they're great for making, just buy a pair, make a pair of earrings. We've just sold 10 of these. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so that means there's 25 of them left at $3 each. Really, really nice quality beads.
How many lots did you pick tonight?
I did 40, and then I threw a few extras in case some of the stuff I picked, we felt like, sometimes it doesn't go or jive, or I always second guess and be like, well, maybe people will like this more than this. So there's about 43 to 45 things I picked out. All right, LT, what are we on? LT 20. Ooh, these beautiful pre-night diamond-shaped goodness drops, beads. They're not really dropped, they're drilled all the way through. But you could turn them into drops. But they are stunning pre-night beads that are faceted. And they've got lots of beautiful green color, a little bit of that black in there. Epidote. I know, it's just now I'm starting to talk a lot. We've just sold another 4 of the LT19s. Thank you so much. 21 of those left, if that my count is right. These are $4 each only, 11 of them available. Really pretty, good earring makers. These are also would be beautiful along a necklace here and there. Mix them with some other black tourmaline or black spinel. I think that'd be really pretty. LT20, $4 each. Let me give you some measurements here. Oh, we just sold one LT20. We just sold 2 more LT20s. We sold 4 more LT19s. Thank you all so much. So the LT20, this one is approximately 24.5 by 12. 24.5 by 12. Just sold 4 more LT20s, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7 of these sold. So that's what, 4 of them left. If anybody wants those last 4 of those. An LT19, 4, 8, 18, minus 35. What is that, 17? I think 17 of those left. LT21. Are these kyanite blades, and let me find the hole for you on these. The hole goes through across right here. So the holes go through across there. These are the kyanite blades. They are, well, drops, they're not really blades. Drops, propellers, they look like a propeller. $2.50 a bead. And it's the mostly blue. There's a little hint of green here and there in the kyanite, but it's mostly a blue kyanite. LT21, 6 of them available, $2.50 each. And we've just sold all of them. Thank you so much.
Are you playing Christmas Carol?
I didn't mean to, but that is kind of what came out. That is kind of what came out.
How long have you been doing this?
It's getting chilly in here, y'all. The snow's a-blowing. No, William, he says. Okay, these are stunning vintage tiger eye pendants. They are simple cut and faceted, and they have layers. Layers upon layers of goodness. Look at those patterns. Lots of beautiful chatoyance. They are drilled top to bottom, through the middle, lengthwise. And they are only $4 a pendant. LT22, there are 10 of them available. You don't see tiger eye too much. These are vintage. You don't see tiger eye too much available with these beautiful kind of layers like this anymore. They just give you the one big flash of tiger eye, but I think it's much more interesting when you see it like this. Aren't those pretty? Let me give you a size now. This one, for example, is about 20.5 millimeters by 33. Melinda says, I like tiger eye, but it makes me nauseous when I work with it. Huh. That's interesting. It's not your energy, right? I love it. It's beautiful. LT22. $4 each. 10 of them available. Vintage tiger eye. Okay. 22, 23. Oh, here's some more of these vintage Chinese ceramic. These are super cool. I love this style. It's made, they look like they're knotted or like a rattan woven finish, but it's just painted like that, or glazed like that. And these are approximately 15.3, so about 15.5 millimeters by about 16. And super cool. Vintage Chinese ceramic, hand glazed, designs put in there. $1 each. 32 of them available. LT23. We've sold 2 of these so far, so there's 30 of them still available. Melinda says it may be too strong for me, so they say, right? Tiger Eye, too grounding for you. She doesn't want to be grounded. LT23. Vintage Chinese ceramic. Fun. Those are fun. Another one that I think would be great with bone. African beads. LT24. Now, what are these big beads, Andrew?
Ceramic.
They are ceramic. Old
They're
ceramic.
painted.
Painted, not glazed. Actually painted. So some of them are.
You know what? I have some that are painted, but they're a little bit dinged up, which I don't mind. I think that shows character, but I don't know if people would like that.
Well, some of these are too. Like these are dinged up.
Do y'all want some more of that flavor?
I love this. I think it shows the character and the age, but maybe y'all don't. We'll see if anybody wants any of these. But you can see they have some spots missing, but it's just the nature of the age of these and that they are hand painted originally, not glazed. So you can see, I think it's super cool, but we'll see. Do y'all like that? Don't you like that? LT24, these are nice big beads though, big ceramic, 26.5 millimeters round. And there are 5 of these available. They're only $3 each. If you like stuff that looks old, these are looking old and they are old. So if you like to incorporate that kind of thing into your designs, these might be for you. LT24. We don't consider things like that defects when they're of a certain age. It's just the age and wear of the bead. And I think it gives them character. Kind of an optical illusion when looking at them on the screen, says Kimberly. Yeah, right. And Melinda says, I'm a Pisces, no grounding for me. I feel that. I'm a Pisces. I kind of like to be grounded sometimes, though. Being, I don't get too out there. Kimberly says, they give an ancient ruin look. Brush some sealer on them to keep them from chipping further if you want. Yeah, you absolutely could. Absolutely could. Now, what are these, Andrew? Are these ceramic, too? The black ones?
Those are ceramic. They're Molly Spindle Whirl beads.
Molly Spindle Whirl beads. Oh, the optical illusion was the basket weave beads. Oh, okay. I thought, because these have the stripes and the lines, and I thought maybe that was that too. Sometimes I think our comments come in really late. LT25 Molly Spindle Whirl beads, ceramic. They have different designs on them. They are slightly different size. But this one is 25 millimeters by about 21. And they're only $3 each. And you will get an assortment of designs if you order more than one. We will pick out the design for you. But These are some of the ones you could get. LT25, if you're interested in those. I think these are super cool.
You had a necklace that you bought that had some of those on it.
Oh, from the French boutique. Yeah. Yeah, it had a big pendant, a shell pendant in it, I think, too. Wonder where that is. Who knows? Who knows? LT25, $3 each. 20 of them available. If you like big beads, those are some nice big beads. $3 each. LT26. These are the hand-painted ones. This time in the tiny size. And again, they do have some flaking from age.
I want to say these are from Mexico.
Mexico?
I could be wrong. It could be Peruvian.
Peruvian, possibly Mexican. LT26, 50 cents each. 22 of these available. They are about 12 millimeters. As Kimberly said, you could easily, finish these with, seal them with something so they would not peel anymore if you want. But they are hand painted. Andrew believes Mexican or Peruvian beads in ceramic. LT 26. 50 cents each only. LT 27. Lena says, I am ready for Halloween now. Halloween.
The back of my knees are too.
He's sweating in the back of your knees. Yeah. LT27, these are a darker color of these ceramic, the small ones. And again, these are approximately 13 millimeter on these ones. Yeah, 12 to 13 millimeter. They're all handmade. 12 to 13 millimeter ceramic hand-painted beads. Vintage or antique at this point, probably. 50 cents each. 22 of them available. LT27. Ooh, these are big ones. Big and blue-green. LT28. More of these. This time, these ones are more sealed, I think, than the other ones were already. They still have a little bit of that flaking that has happened. But hand-painted blue-green. And these are $3 each. 5 of these available. And these are 31 millimeters. 31 millimeter rounds in the ceramic. Mexican or Peruvian. That was Andrew's guess. And we've sold some of the LT27s and some of the LT26s. Thank you so much. LT. Whoa! Where does it go? LT 29. Ooh. These are pre-night, right? These little ones? LT29 are these tiny little high-end pre-night drops, faceted drops. These are drilled across the top. Get in there. Let me get the light on there. And Andrew priced these at a good price, $2 each for y'all. $2 each. These high-end pre-night faceted drops. There are 16 of them available. Great for making dangles, whether you're making earrings or making charms. These come in at, whoa, come on. If I can get it in there. Approximately, I'm going to say 9 millimeters by 5.5. 9 by 5.5. We've sold 2 of these so far. We have 14 of them still available. $2 each. Beautiful, high-end, pre-night faceted drops. Look at those. Shine, shine, shine. Nice grade of stone on those. Not a lot of black in the pre-night. It's mostly all the green, gemmy part of the pre-night. All right, next up, LW30. LW30 is a beautiful pink vintage check glass strand with an AB finish. It's that metallic AB. And these are a flattened table cut drop. And they are approximately 9.2 by 5.8 by 13, 12.8. This is $5 for this vintage glass strand, 6-inch strand. One of them available, LT30, only $5. All right, now I think we're getting into some of the metal components I pulled out. For those of you who like these little metal additions, we've got these. And these are 50 cents each only, LT31. You can do lots of different things with these. You can wrap around them, bead weave in them. You can fold them over, make them bead caps. You can dangle them together. You can hang things behind them to show through. Lots of ways to use these. These are approximately 13 millimeters. If you're doing them on the diagonal, they're about 15 millimeters. And LT31, 50 cents each only, 18 of them available. LT31, 50 cents each, 18 of them available. Andrew's counting down there. How's it going? How's everybody doing? You all hanging in there? If you missed it earlier, I started a D-stash earlier today around 5:30. We tried a daytime D-stash because we usually do that so late at night that I know unless you're a night hawk like us or a night owl like us, you're going to miss sometimes a lot of our D-stashes being there live. So I started it around 5:30 today. We went until about 6:45 or so. And I put up about 40 to 42, I think 42 different lots of things. I'll do another one tomorrow, so we'll be adding to that. Please be sure to check that out if you haven't already and take a look and see if there's anything there you want. There's been a lot of claiming going on, so we appreciate that so much. And like I said, I'll add to it tomorrow around, I'm going to try to do it around the same time. We'll see. Because I kind of like that, and it worked out. And because if I did it after the lives, it's going to be very, very late. And so we're going to try and do it, I think, a little bit earlier again tomorrow. So that's Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash on Facebook. It's a closed group. If you're not in it already, please go ahead and request to join if you've been with us for a little while. And we can let you in there, and you can take a look at the goody goods that are in the group right now. We do one of those every week or two or three sometimes. There's no regular schedule for those, but every once in a while we drop some things in there and hang out with people. We do it on the timeline kind of like we do it here. We ask questions and people answer, and we comment back and forth and hang out with each other. And then
Used to be every Thursday night.
Used to be every Thursday night. It used to be a weekly, definitely a weekly thing, but that was before we did the lives every weeknight. But
I used to think those were so much work once a week.
I know.
Now we do it pretty much every night.
We do it. Yes, we do it pretty much every night. It always felt like a lot of work that one day a week, and now we're squeezing them in with other lives.
But just different.
But it's different. So, yeah, it's fun though. Mm-hmm. We ask questions, get to know each other. This is LT32, so these are the gold-plated ones, like the silver ones I just showed you. There's 54 of these available. And I believe these are probably around the same size, right? 13 millimeters.
These are gold-plated.
Gold-plated, 13 by 15 millimeters. 13 shortwaves if you use them diagonally, 15.
What number is that?
32. And there are, again, 54 of these available, gold plated this time. And again, you can use these in all different kinds of ways, whether you seed bead around them, bead weave in them, attach things to them. You can chain them together, make a nice little chained bracelet with them. You could hang them for earrings. You can manipulate them and bend them if you want to, bend them around other beads, make bead caps with them. Lots of different ways that you could use those. They're only 65 cents each. LT32. Okay. LT33. These are really cool. I love these. So these are like these little flowers or propellers. Super cute. They've got that little twisty look to them. And these are 75 cents each, LT33. And they are approximately 19 millimeters. And again, you could do lots of different things with these. I think they're super cute. I think they'd be great. These would be great for earrings. I think they'd be fun. But they could also be made into part of a pendant. If you dangled them in front of something, they look really pretty. You could wire different kinds of crystals or beads to each one of these little fans. Call them fins, I guess. But if you wire wrapped a crystal to each one of those or through each one of those, you could really make a pretty little crystal star LT33, 75 cents each only. LT34 coming up. These are gold plated, and this is the style of finding. This one isn't completely flat. It's got a raised area, kind of like a dished out surface. So if you wanted to set rounds in there or your micro-faceted beads, set them down in this little channel in here, seed bead or bead wire, wrap them in there. There's that. You can see the profile. And these are, depending on how you would string them, this is 15 millimeters this way, or diagonally, they are about 20.5 millimeters. LT34, 18 of them available, 80 cents each. I like these. I want to see people use them. So far, we're not selling them, though. Y'all don't know what to do with them? Don't like them? Don't use them?
What number is that?
This one is 35. LT35. These are large filigree pendants.
You could make that as a pendant for the other ones and just link them all together and make a chain.
That'd be cool. LT35. These are the big bigs. $5 each only. Let me see. These are.
You want to look at those compared to those because they're the same pattern, but the ones you have right now, they're kind of domed a little bit.
Yeah. So these are about 51 millimeters if you go that way, or about 71 diagonally this way. And you can see, I'll show you, 36 is the same pattern, but these are flat, whereas these, you can see, are already domed out. So they've done some of that work if you want them domed and make them into something that way. Or if you just want them completely flat so that you can bend them and manipulate them yourself, or not at all, you want them just to lie flat, we have LT36 here. There's 3 of each of them. They are $5 each. All right. Dale says, are they bendable to wrap around stones?
Of course.
Yes, that's a good thing to use them for, Dale.
That's what I use them for. So what you would do is you'd manipulate it with the pliers first, and then here, give me one. I'll show you all.
One of the big ones?
Yeah, on the big curving. Do you have which one sold?
None of them so far.
Huh?
None of them so
Not
far.
even one?
Not even one. You want the flat or the curvy?
Curvy. Well, whatever. I don't know.
Here, you want a curvy? I'll give you a curvy.
Yeah, these ones are silver plated too. So
Oh yeah, these are sterling plated. Sterling plated. You want one of the big Amazonites or something from tonight? Nah. He's got his own.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Maybe give me a drink while I'm doing this.
Lennis says that one is great to use with bell making pliers to hold something in the middle. Dale says, thank you. I used to purchase from Vintage. Haven't seen these in a while.
These ones are from Ornamentia from back in the day. She wrote a book called Making Jewelry with Filigree.
Did y'all hear that? Those are from Ornamentia back in the day. She wrote a book, Making Jewelry from Filigree.
Yeah.
Or with Filigree. And
I have a bunch of donuts up here. Where did it go?
Where did it go?
Put my stuff?
I didn't touch your stuff.
Yeah.
This is a strand of shell. And this one wants to pop off of here. We'll keep that one on there. Strand of these beautiful shell beads in this gorgeous. I love these beads. They're super light. I love. They've got these dots along here, and they're in this beautiful green color. And there's one strand of these available, $14 only, and they are approximately 35. Yeah, 23 and a half. Reading it backwards, 23 and a half by 36. And you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 beads on that strand.
I guess I can use this.
And that's approximately a 16-inch strand. Someone had some beautiful layered filigree pieces in Tucson at the bead show at the casino. I don't remember her name, says Dale. 37. You jumping in here?
Alright, so I couldn't find, I had a bunch of those gemstone donuts and I couldn't find them. So I just found this glass bead. See this glass bead? And so what I like to do is I like to use bail making pliers for this if I have them. If I don't have them, then I'll use some round nose pliers. You just have to be a little bit careful with it because round nose pliers are tapered, so they're smaller at the tip and bigger at the base. So if you just wrap without any care, your holes are going to be a little bit wonkadoodle. All right, so I've got my focal here. I've got my piece of filigree here. So you can kind of precisely eyeball this so that it's in the center. The nice thing about the hole in the middle is you can line up the very base of it. Now, one of the tips that I use is I take a Sharpie, and it's if you have a fine tip Sharpie, it works a little bit better. But I kind of trace it a little bit and try not to move it. It's hard to see with the camera in the way, but because I like to get on top of it and then I get a better view of it. But we just work with what we got. And in theory, the lines are real faint, so you don't see a bunch of marks, especially since this is see-through because it's transparent. You don't want that to see through it. So you take your pliers. This is better if you have bail making pliers, but I'm just going to gently curve it up on this side. But see how that's not even? So go on this side and gently curve it up as well. And that will help even it out. All right. So we're going to do this like we're going to go in the 4 directions. So if you do north, you then do south. Now these ones are plated, so you have to be a little bit careful. Alright, and then east and west. I can hear that plating kind of cracking off. So we're just going to be gentle with it. All right, so we want the bend to be at the the point of that, and then we gently press on one side, then go on the other side. And you want to do that. Now, because these are plated, it's a little bit less easy to bend. Because when you have that raw brass and stuff, you can usually it just usually just bends right to it. But because of this, that they're plated, they're a little bit stiffer. Alright, so it's loose right now, it's real loose. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this out, and then I'm going to gently persuade it to come over.
Gentle persuasion.
And because it's real loose, then we're just gently tightening it up. I'm just using chain nose pliers. I'm gently coming over. So this would be good if you're going to wire something on. I don't necessarily recommend the plated ones to be bent too much, because the plating is kind of popping off. So just keep that in mind. And then just slip that in there. And then generally speaking, then I just take my fingers and tuck it in. Now, if you're having problems where you're not getting if it's not getting set fully, you can go in and take this out and redo it. But just keep in mind that every time you manipulate the wire or the metal, you're work hardening it. So I just go around in a circle until I'm happy and it stays put. And then this, you can have it off to the side like this and use this as like a place to put 2 jump rings. You can fold these in if you want. I kind of like it to look like that, like a chandelier with these little pokey outies. And then, this is what the back looks like then. But I think it's kind of cool. And you can do all kinds of stuff. I would probably set something in there, maybe like a rivet. If I have like a coin that's drilled in the center. Look down there, there's a pile of red beads to your left on the floor. And there's like a disc. There's a pile of red beads. So you can take that and do like a rivet. And then you would fish that up from the back and then put that on the top. And then you can have like a little bit of color if you wanted to do that. This one's not perfectly drilled in the center, so maybe pick one that's a little bit more drilled. You can also stack this up. What do you give me this for?
That'll fit down in the hole, won't it?
This, like this? Yeah, I guess you could. This is paper. Paper, Ugandan paper bead. I don't know if I would use that, but you can do whatever you want. Everyone's so creative. And then you just put that rivet, and I'm going to pretend like this is a rivet, but it's not really a rivet. It's just a head pin. And really, a head pin could work. The only problem is that the hole is a little bit wide down here. So I guess you could, in theory, have it. Boy, this will be real creative. You can put that in there. And then put this in here. if it'll go through the hole. The holes on this is real petite. And then you push this down. And then if you were doing this with a real rivet, you would brace this and make sure that, because this is like it goes in, it's a concave, you have to make sure that that gets in there somehow, where you either balance it on top of something. And then you would take and you would trim it about a millimeter above that, and then you gently flare it out. That's a little bit more complicated for a quick little demo, but I think this is a nice way of doing this. And I saw somebody else that said, Dale said, or got some. Okay. Dale says, I use nylon jaw pliers. Those are good. Those don't mess up your stuff. You do have to be real careful that you don't over squeeze. And then Dale says, I like the solid brass. Yeah, I like it too. But if you want something that's silver, you got to do some stuff. But I think that's neat. You don't like that? You think that looks like trash? You just have to do it a little bit harder, a little bit firmer. But the more you do it, you work hardening that down, it would lock into place. And this, you can have it spin, so you have your own little fidget spinner. There's little purple dots on the side of this. And I guess if you lined it up just right, you could get it so that the purple shows. Alright, I'm gonna go, since our numbers are dropping, because I'm talking. You could also use this as a base for something. So if you want to have this, it'll be like a little sculpture on top, like make a little wire or something, or you need a stand for like one of your seed bead creations. This is wide enough that you could do that. See, that could be the base of it. You can put your little seed bead thing on top. Because sometimes you like make seed bead critters, and then you're like, what the heck am I going to do with this? And there you go.
Agua.
Aqua.
Aqua fresca. Lamp work stand, says Kimberly. So pretty. Dale says, I like that. It helps with cabochons or gemstones that are not drilled.
Like, look at this little thing. This is a little sculpture that we picked up in North Carolina.
Yep.
But just picture it. You have a little bird. That could be the sand.
You could do a little polymer clay bird.
Uh-huh.
I think this is wood, right? This one? Or is it ceramic?
Ceramic.
Ceramic. Dale says, thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome. You didn't know you were going to get a little tutorial time.
No, who knew?
Who knew? Not even us.
Not even us.
I'll give you...
Still didn't sell any of those, but...
Oh, wow. Pitch in the garbage then.
Throw it in the garbage. Who needs it? Goodbye. Nobody wants it.
I'll give you $1 if you can take the sweaters downstairs.
Oh, really?
You have to just shake out the change jar, but I'll pay you.
You'll pay you.
That
okay, we've
cold,
got
hard cash.
38, 39, and 40.
Huh? What do I have?
38, 39, and 40.
Marker, please. How much do you think for this one, Big Red?
I don't know the tag on it.
Holy smokes.
Uh-huh. I didn't even know if you were selling that one. I just pulled it today.
Well, I don't know if I could sell it for that. We'll sell that.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like this strand coming up.
What is it? 38?
Yes.
LT38.
Yes. Yes. Y'all hanging in there? All 15 of you hanging in there? Dell says I'll go back and rewatch the beginning. All right. I love this strand because it's, again, one of those odd strands. It's mother of pearl. Mother of pearl beads. They are graduated, and they are these amazing kind of drops. But the mother of pearl is such nice quality on these, and they get longer and wilder as they go on. Look at those.
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty.
Kimberly says absolutely hanging in. Angela says hanging in. These are so cool.
I made it and then sold it that day.
Look at
one
these.
thing about that I miss about our Ligonier shop is we just had more people who like randomly walk by.
Yeah.
And so we would get those kind of random sales like that.
Sometimes, yep. But look at the quality of these for only $24 for the whole strand. It's a graduated strand. $24 for all them dar rainbows in there. Look at that. That's some nice quality. Mother of pearl. LT38, $24. Kimberly says those are crazy cool, right? Like, just think of a few of those sprawled out on a necklace. Oh, you don't need all of them, but especially these long ones, like just a few of those on a necklace, just to give it some, like it's a little bit wild. Claw, says Kimberly, right? Just that little bit of wildness to it, but pretty wild. And then you have all these little ones if you want to make earrings, or I think that would even be a cool bracelet. Like, look at that. I know people who would turn these into a bracelet for sure and use the big ones. Like, how cool. Put some maybe black spacers or something in there, some black pearls in between. Like, just to make a wild, and then charge high dollar. Charge high dollar for that. Because sometimes the wilder the design, the more you can charge. You just find that right customer. LT38, $24. LT39. This is kind of the opposite. It's very reserved.
Very demure.
Very demure.
People even say that.
I don't know. Melinda says, I have some vintage beads like this, necklace and earrings. Put them together and let them go wild, right? These are all vintage beads too. All vintage. Super light. These are little shells. They are hollow, but super pretty in color. They've got that white pearlescence. Was $24. Now $22 for the strand. Look at those rainbows. And these are approximately, let me measure. Let me just grab one here. These are about 12 millimeters by 18. 12 by 18 millimeters. One strand available. LT39. $22. And what's Andrew got for us at the end of the night? LT40. Crystal strands. 6. Ooh, look at these sparkle and shine. 6 of these beautiful periwinkle blue with AB. I don't know if these have AB. I think that's
Yeah,
just
a little bit.
a little bit. I was like, is that just the silver color? A little bit of AB, a hint of AB. With that beautiful periwinkle blue LT40. They were $7 a strand, $5 a strand. These are approximately 8.5 inch strands. And they are 6mm faceted rondelles. LT40. Beautiful. That would go really well with, for example, those, right? Put them together, make a little earring or a bracelet set. That'd be really pretty. LT40, $5 per strand, 6 strands available. All right, y'all. That's the show for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed hanging out with you all. Got to chit chat, got to talk, got to hang out, got to talk about food, got to talk about beads, got a little demo in there. Let me flip the camera around real quick. Whoops. Well, that didn't work. Try that again. There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello. So, that's bright. Thank you so much. Giving us so many pretty beads. Dale says, thanks so much for the bonus tutorial. Susan says, good night all. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Whether you hung out with us on our creative make-along on Friday, whether you hung out with us on the D-Stash earlier today or the live today, thank you all so much for all of your support. And Andrew and I are now going to go figure out what we're going to make for dinner. It's going to be interesting. So thank you so much. Have an amazing evening, and we'll see you back here with something new tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
See ya.